Welcome to a video that's going to blow the lid off the Illuminati-like conspiracy of the Cyberpunk delay. We're going to talk about the truth. This is the only place you can get the truth. Make sure you know your special handshake. Let's discuss Cyberpunk getting delayed and what it means. It probably means, I would say, the end of the world. We're going to discuss that now. This is hyper important stuff. Make sure that you spread the word of this video. I would probably do it with smoke signals or pigeons. Lots of pigeons. Make sure to put it on pigeons somehow. Why was Cyberpunk delayed? How did it get delayed? Let's begin. Let's discuss this. I think we're all accustomed to delays of all kinds in all aspects of our daily lives. Few things, though, are meted out with the incredible level of annoyance, vexation, bitterness, and just irritation that a video game delay is. And you might be thinking to yourself, Karak, I think all those words mean the same thing. You're actually right, because many times games are delayed for the exact same reason that technological devices are, that entertainment sources are, or that travel arrangements are, and that's that it's not friggin' ready yet. So here comes Cyberpunk. It's strutting in on Witcher 3's bulk. It's giant shoulders, big burly multi-million-dollar pecs that are made from our cash. And it's like, we're doing the future, baby. We're doing verticality that you have never seen before. We're going to be doing interactions that you're going to be talking about for years, and a world based on one of the more beloved IPs in D&D games, and that's Cyberpunk. And to say that games development community as well as the fans themselves are not absolutely at a fever pitch about this is pretending that Keanu Reeves showing up at that Xbox event was a small deal. Then we have our delays. Well, we already had some delays, but we started to get hit with them. Development since 2013 saw us see a delay for April. Then it was moved to September. Then, boom, it was moved to November. Remembering, of course, that Witcher 3 was also delayed. It's not that surprising, right? Nobody would think so. Or is it? Let's discuss two underlying theories that have been placed, sort of competing edginess in a sea of hot takes and honest topics and brutally honest opinion pieces. I think some websites are probably just going to run Cyberpunk development as their main bit of way to make money for the rest of this year. The two theories for this delay are, well, one, it's not done. Now, this shocking bit of information was delivered by the Cyberpunk's devs themselves, who stated that while all the content was in place and it was complete, they had to get balance and bugs and everything looked at one more time. And in the immortal words of Keanu's older brother, that seems to make sense. Probably something that we want. But let's talk about the juicier delay theory. That's that the game was delayed so that it could coincide with next-gen console releases. That's right. This was announced that the delay was happening, and the world went a little bit livid, and that makes sense to me. But when you parse away the disappointments and the people trying to get their Twitch channels being bigger by making funny jokes, and the people just saying, let's hope it's good when it comes out, there's also an undercurrent of paranoia, and people just rocking back and forth with their giant anime pillows, praying to their broken controllers that their one true God must be held back by something that is bigger than just not being ready. What if it's held back to coincide with next-gen consoles? What if it's here for a double whammy when it comes to PR? Now, paranoia in the game industry, despite me joking, is not a new thing, and it is not at all unwarranted. Remember, this is an industry where entire GDC discussions are low-key presentations on how to get the most out of a gamer by doing the least amount of work. Basically a reverse Scrooge McDuck, just squeezing every gamer for what they can get. And we've had our share of bad actors as well. Pretending we haven't had that is a little bit like those self-publishing books on Amazon where a chick bangs a Bigfoot and raises his baby, and pretending that's not as stupid as a chick banging a sparkly vampire and run across the top of trees. Ignoring that, let's break this down. The belief is that the next-gen consoles and Cyberpunk are being released in the same time frame to create some kind of giant gaming confluence of energy in November. I'm not sure why, probably human sacrifice. The first issue with this is that we don't even know the damn releases of the consoles yet, and to believe that somehow CD Projekt Red is an Illuminati-like conspiracy with the console makers doesn't bear a lot of weight when they openly have already stated that you get a free version of the next-gen game when it's ready, and day one, the next-gen versions are going to have enhanced versions themselves, most likely resolution and I would say FPS. Now, first, in the delay statement, they said it was due to content being completed, but they needed a more thorough vetting process for things like the bugs and the quests and all the side content. However, supposedly also hand-picked journalists are getting to play it and do previews. Now, this was pushed forward as one of the major reasons why people thought that this was a Watergate-level conspiracy and it was for sure done and something else was going on. As someone who has previewed games more than 1 year prior and reported on them 1 year prior, I can tell you I've reported on games 1 year prior and played them 1 year prior. That's it. There's nothing special about that. It's not that crazy to do. I will add, I get the worry though. We live in a world where Obsidian did not get bonus checks for some Metacritic score. Double dipping works for these companies. GTA has quintuple dipped. Skyrim has dipped so many times it needs to be checked for digital STDs. It's been in some dark ass places. Alexa, play Skyrim.
Welcome back to Skyrim, adventurer.
Alexa, turn the fuck off.
Safe travels, adventurer.
Whatever. We know that double dipping works, so a title released prior to the next-gen consoles makes total sense for a developer and a publisher like this to try to sell as many copies as they actually can. Because as we know, or as we have known somebody, or maybe ourselves been, we've got a game day one because we wanted to play it. And then sometimes later, sometime at a later point, we buy that game and play the upgraded version. Humans are like that. We have sex with one, and then we look at the upgraded human next to him and say, I want to have sex with that. We like one burger. Nah, maybe two, maybe three. If this wasn't true, Apple wouldn't be in business anymore from selling you the same fucking thing every 3 months, and they would have hired somebody who understood design so they could have put a headphone jack on the goddamn thing. So to think someone would want an earlier release and then not want it later to somehow make more money is like thinking that you should probably get on this plane because it's the one that's going to crash. It makes absolutely no business sense. This is a game from a developer of one of the most successful titles in gaming history. But this is also a game not only known for its breadth, but also its depth. A game where the designs have been discussed. There's going to be a great deal of verticality in a cityscape that's something that we haven't seen before in games. Also, to understand development, look no further than like Learning Hub, where they talk about the 7 stages of game development. And that last stage, when it is in the finish line and the lights at the end of the tunnel, it is all about optimization and backlogs of bugs. Some of them old and reported prior, and they've decided that they're a big deal at that time. For games, when it comes to the studios, there's a hierarchy of bugs, all the way from game crashing to something small, and they try to fix as many as they can. They also try to, if they can, polish it. When the game is ready, they then ship it. This is something, well, let's be honest, that's a little bit not true. Sometimes we get games that are not actually ready. But this is something when it comes to development that is discussed all the time. It's reflected and regurgitated and repeated across the board from all developers who work on games. People who are not even in gaming anymore discuss this if they were developers. And they don't have any really tangible effect in the gaming industry anymore. There'd be no reason for them to lie. This is a situation where look no further than Outer Worlds' infamous ladder climbing glitch for a game that has a glitch that really impacts later on and wasn't found during original development. This is a publisher and a developer that is the same company and one of the few that has the money to be able to do this. If this was all some nefarious plan, we wouldn't be seeing the idea that in the future an upgraded version of the game was going to be given to people for free, as was announced today, or that enhanced versions would even do anything. It's not crazy, though. We do see many worries in the game industry, and a lot of them, I think, are very warranted. But in the morning, you wake up, you use your brain to get out of bed. I think some people should use their brain to do a little bit more critical thinking and walk something through. Get out of that molasses of your own self-deceit and start looking at what's actually occurring. And sure, if I gave a shit about pissing people off, I probably wouldn't be on the internet. I'd be out there shaving my back hair and selling it to doll makers or something else that's super creepy. But that's another story. As always, I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. If you don't agree with me, put that in the comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike the video, give it a thumbs down. If you think there's another theory out there, a competing theory for why this was delayed that doesn't include, well, you know, it not being ready, you can feel free to put that in the comments as well. I'll read them if I get a chance, and we'll discuss them next week, either on the podcast or another video. Now, here we go. You can always become a patron. I give you guys reviews that aren't 2 minutes long or filled with sponsored bullcrap. My dog's agreeing right now. You can hear him. Just listen to that. Just going absolutely nuts. He's like, I agree. He's a part of the Discord. But seriously, you can come to the Discord. It helps out the channel. I buy a copy of every single game I get, even if the dev gives me a code. Totally agreeing. Other than that, I absolutely love y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy your weekend. And remember the special handshake. It's important. Peace out.